Good morning, my friends. It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. I have got multiple drinks. I've got two hats for the two hatter throws when needed. And my friends, we have an amazing guest all the way from Hawaii, my friends. It is 3 a.m. there. What an amazing honor and a privilege it is to have this gentleman with us this morning. Again, 3 a.m. in Hawaii right now. When drop shipping failed, this worked. Ace, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Just trying to give you a little of your own language there, my friend. So it is 3 a.m. Confirm that I'm not telling any tall tales.
It was 3 a.m. It's 4 a.m. now.
Oh, that's a two-hatter. Starting the day off, and I'm going to switch it up on him right away. Wow, 4 a.m. My friend, it's really, truly an honor for you to, my honor, and my privilege to have you here. And thank you so much for your commitment of coming on at such either an late or an early hour over there in Hawaii. So tell us, my friend, what led you to Legendary? What were you looking for? Did you find it?
Yes. So it was about a year ago in August. I started and I was watching a couple online. Am I able to say names on here?
You say whatever you want, man.
So I was watching Bruna and her husband Donnie. They were doing this. They were a couple at the time. They were doing their own, they were doing it as a couple. And my ex just left me. I came home to an empty house. It was the craziest thing. I went to work. We were talking about buying a house, and I come home and my house is empty. Like there's only my stuff here, and I'm like, what's going on? There was a letter on my table explaining that my ex was unhappy, and I was just like, oh my gosh, now what am I going to do? I didn't want to move back with my parents. I didn't want to move out of my house. I don't want to be homeless. So I was never religious. I was never a religious person, but I asked God for a sign. And that night, something kept on telling me to go on TikTok. And I just scrolled through TikTok and I found Bruna and her husband. So if nobody knows who Bruna is, that's Camila Markson's sister.
Hmm.
And I watched them for about 2 weeks. And then I was like, this is something I totally want to do, something I can see myself getting behind. And I started and never looked back. And it's amazing. I've been doing it for a year now. To say that it's amazing that I've been doing it for a year and it's life changing. It definitely changed my life for sure.
Wow, man, what a story! What a vulnerable, honest story. Thank you for sharing that. And
Um,
that's that I can imagine that is such a difficult situation to go through, and for you to obviously be able to share it now is shows me that you've worked through that and you've leaned into that pain and that vulnerability, and of course even started something new through it. To give yourself a new kind of lease on life, to kind of not sit around and be a victim or kind of on your pity party type thing, which is so
yeah.
easy for so many of us to do. Every person has that in us. um, so as you were scrolling, and you found us and you found Bruna, and what went through your head? I mean, as you started to take the challenge, what were some of the light bulb moments? I know that we even mentioned it in the headline of this show that you had done some drop shipping or something before. What was different about this?
Drop shipping is very different compared to this, whereas you're selling physical products. And I knew there was something out there where I could promote a product that I didn't own and make a commission off of it. I just couldn't put a name on it. And back in the day, was a social media influencer. I started going viral for all different comedies that I was doing. It's like local comedy here in Hawaii. And I started getting all these discount codes, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with these? So I just started posting them on top of my page, and I never even knew what they were until I started affiliate marketing. Until I started the Legendary Marketer course, and that's when I was like, all the light bulb moments went off, and I was like, that's what those codes were for. That's to make you money, and I was just like, I was there just like posting it on top of my link tree and all of that, and I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm doing with it.
That's funny, bro. That's funny. And so the light bulbs, as you were going through the challenge, started going off around the power of selling information versus selling a physical product, and how with when you're selling information, there's so much higher profit margins with that, right? And there's no supply chain difficulties of
Yeah.
delivering the products. Are those some elaborate on that? Say more about that. Were those the main light bulbs that went off for you? Was there anything else that sort of was like, ah, yeah, this is different?
Um, like compared to drop shipping and
Compared to
affiliate,
physical, because
yeah, for sure.
we do quite an overview in the first couple of days and educate people on the difference of why we teach the core four ways to sell information online versus all the other business models that you can do out there, like
Yes.
drop shipping, like Amazon FBA, like flipping products from garages to eBay,
Yeah.
all these things that include a physical product,
Right.
why we prefer selling information.
For me, I would rather do that because you don't. For me, I am so far. I've been doing good. I don't lose out. I haven't lost out on anything. Whereas drop shipping, I lost a lot of money with doing that, and I kept on putting in money to keep it going, and I was not seeing anything. But at the time, my ex was still here, and I was like, I can do this. I can totally do this. But I was taking the wrong courses, watching the wrong free videos on TikTok. That was one thing that legendary marketer taught me, was to always invest in yourself, and that's what I've been doing ever since. And I've always trying to find free stuff, and that free stuff was getting me frustrated to the point where I wasn't making any money, and it was just completely losing. And I also did move over to Amazon FB, and that I lost a lot of money. That put a lot of strain on my relationship when I did that, because I had to invest money to buy a product and then have it shipped over and to the Amazon warehouse, and it was a whole bunch of back and forth and a lot of lost money, and that literally put a strain on my relationship. I think that was probably like the biggest thing, was the money.
Mm.
This is something that I can totally stand behind, because I don't have that physical product where I don't have to worry about dealing with all of that extra, I guess, like losing the money, or even having to try and go out there and try to promote this one physical product that just might just sit in my garage for like years, and never get sold. Whereas legendary, it's so easy. Anyone can do, I say, if you can take the time out of your day to learn affiliate marketing, it's so life-changing. The things that went off in my mind, I looked at myself, I was not a person that could do this. I gave myself 2 weeks, and once I did it, I was obsessed with this, and I've been doing it ever since. And now I started with one product, and I'm doing like 6 different products, but I stay behind legendary. That's my main source. That's the one I promote the most, and it totally changed my life. Totally changed my life. I can smile again. I'm not down the gutter. I quit my 9 to 5 job.
Wow.
It's been amazing. It's nice to be able to wake up and not have to rush up to a 9 to 5 anymore. And after my
Mm.
ex left, I had to do this for my cats. My cats are like my children, and I was afraid of like a fire breaking out, like, and or like something happening here, and I'm not here physically to be here with my animals. And
Yeah.
that's what drove me to keep on going, and I did it. And then once it was August of last year I started, and then December of last year I quit my job.
Wow. Wow,
Yeah.
man. That's about a 6 month journey, it sounds like, right? From starting to quitting your job, August to December, did you say?
Yeah, August. four
There-
months
Wow. That's crazy, man. That's really awesome.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank
And
you.
and a lot of people have cat babies and dog babies and can relate to that. I mean, wanting to be home with your kids or wanting to be home with your animals. I
Yeah.
mean, it's no different for a lot of people. But a lot of people love their fur babies as much as they love their regular children.
Yes.
And especially with the traumas of the recent wildfires out there in Hawaii, that's a very real fear. I mean, to have to go to a job, we have similar fears here in Florida with hurricanes, right? When a big storm is coming in and like your job wants you to be there up until the very like day before the storms here. And it's like what you really wanted to do was get the hell out of Dodge. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like what you
Yeah.
really wanted to do is load your family up in your car and drive away 3 or 4 days before the storm was going to get there. But if you did that, you were going to lose your freaking job, right?
Yeah.
So like you
Exactly.
got to choose between like staying in a war zone pretty much or leaving town and potentially losing your job. And that's a horrible choice to have to make.
Yeah.
Um, I want to go back to something that you said a moment ago, which was the fact that you had kind of went to YouTube University and TikTok University and all those places, looking for free information, right? And what changed in you when you kind of realized, and also what changed with your results, that hey, I need to invest in myself here, right? I see that you've invested in our programs here at Legendary. You know, and I also want to differentiate for everybody listening that buying education, it's not mandatory. It's not like you don't need to buy education to start doing affiliate marketing. You don't need to buy education. Education is not tools. Like, for example, you need to buy a hammer and a drill to be a carpenter. You need to buy a tape measure and probably a truck if you want to be a mason or a plumber, right? You
Yeah.
need those tools. The only tools that you need to do affiliate marketing are a couple of low to no cost tools, such as a funnel builder and an email autoresponder.
Yep.
You don't need education. The reason why we sell education is because it can fast track your success when you know what the hell it is that you're doing. And
Yes.
so, say more about that, because so many people are on the fence here as they're going through our challenge. They're deciding, should I, enroll into the blueprints? Is this a cost? What does it mean to invest in yourself? Like, a lot of people are unfamiliar with those terms and that thinking. When you spend your whole life trying to get things for free and you're taught that free is for me, right? You kind of look at everything like a cost and try to shy away from spending money on you. We're
Yeah.
quick to spend money on a purse or a hat or a watch or a car. But when it comes to spending actual money on my brain, it's like, whoa, scam.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did that change within you, and what sort of light bulbs went off? What do you now know about that you didn't know back in the day?
So when I first started, I didn't know anything about affiliate marketing. I had no clue what it was. I knew it was out there. I just didn't know what it was. And when I fully invested in myself and started my journey, all these things started making sense. Like I told you about the discount codes that I was getting previously, I never knew what to do with those. I finally knew what to do with those on my personal channel. And then I, 2 months in on Legendary, when I started my affiliate marketing, not my Legendary, sorry, excuse me. When I started my affiliate marketing journey, I got stuck. I was stuck. I was doing the whole free thing. I was still, even after taking the course, I was doing the free thing. And that's when I have a friend on here, and Camila. Me and Camila actually became really close. She came here to Maui. We got to hang out. I got to meet her and her husband. It was just amazing that I got to meet her. Even her sister Bruna we're actually like online besties. I would say we're online besties, but it's because of them and seeing their success is what was like, you know what, I need to invest in myself. So I did buy into the blueprints, and from then on, that's when everything started making sense for me. Like that's when I started learning how to invest in my knowledge. Don't like for me, a price is nothing any like at this point. I feel like my knowledge, you can like. I remember you saying this in one of the Wake Up Legendary. It was people can take everything away from you, but the one thing they can't take away from you is your knowledge, and that was a big thing for me. That right there was like the light bulb, and I just kept on going. And I wasn't a person to read mindset books, and I'm constantly reading now. I usually like to read fantasy stuff, like to get into a different world, but now I'm investing in my mind and in my mindset, and all these different things are just like coming to me. I'm like, wow, really? It was that simple? That's all I had to do? it's I think that's the best thing to do is just invest in yourself, don't ever free can get you so far. Like they give you the bare minimum is how I feel with that. But when you invest in yourself, they give you the extent of what you need. Once I got into the blueprints, I felt like I was lost in the middle of a city, not knowing where to go. And then once I got the blueprints, it was like a GPS system taking me to my destination. And ever since then, I haven't looked back. And it fully changed my mindset with all of that. Like now I don't even look at things like a price tag. I just like, you know what, that I need it. I want to invest in myself. I want to grow as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. And I constantly invest in myself.
Wow, that's such a powerful testimonial for like the power of your worth and what you are worth. So many times we are so willing to spend on everybody else and even pay like name brand companies like designer companies, thousands of dollars for a freaking purse or a hat or a shirt or
Yeah.
some other crap that as soon as we leave the store, it's got literally no value. But of course, when we're wearing it and it says whatever it says on it, we feel like we're smart or we feel like we're successful. But the truth is that we're now just less rich, and now we own something that we can't even get the money back out of it, right? And that's
Correct.
just what we do. We put it on credit cards. We love to go shopping. We love to even buy cars that we can't afford. And again, same thing with a car. It's a depreciating asset. The moment you drive that car off that car lot, especially if it's a brand new car, it's lost 20, 30, 40% of its value. Whereas a great piece of education, a great piece of knowledge that you purchase and you acquire and you download into your brain is literally priceless.
Yep.
Literally priceless. It's literally an investment. Sort of, it's way better than a stock because the stock market has grown 10% over the past 100 years per year. You can go, the right piece of information can grow your income 100%, 200% per year, 300%.
Yep.
We as a company this last year, we just announced it yesterday for the second day in a row, or excuse me, second year in a row. We are an Inc. 5000 company. We made the Inc. 5000 fastest growing companies in America, fastest growing privately held. We're the 30th fastest growing education company in America. Now,
That's
this is a company that's founded by a dadgum recovering drug addict, for God's sakes. It's a high school dropout that you're listening to, a teenage father, right? Somebody who was a construction worker for the first couple of years of me getting clean back in 2008. And I'll tell you what, how did we get here? We got here through, that's not me farting. I've got somebody actually doing some work here in my home. We got here because I invested in myself way back when I started online. Think about that investment. Whatever courses I bought, and I did buy courses and I did invest money and I did buy a laptop and I did all the things. And think about that. We will do $60 million in course and education sales this year at Legendary Marketer. I want you to think about that. Whatever that course was that I bought, $100, $200, $1,000, even the $10,000 seminars that I bought, all the different things, multiply that into $60 million and ask yourself, how much of a good investment were those, right? So what have you learned about yourself, Ace, through this process that you either forgot or you did not know that was inside of you? What did you learn about you since you started this process, my friend?
I learned a lot. To be honest, I've always been in relationships. So I've always been that type of person that relied on somebody else. I always thought I was that person who had to rely on someone else, And through this journey of my ex leaving me and starting affiliate marketing and with Legendary, I learned that I'm a self-reliant person. I'm self-independent and I don't need anybody in my life to tell me what to do or have to run anything by to do that. Like this business, I remember you saying that like that most of the time you would have to run it by your other half. And my other half was a person that was like, no, because I invested so much money in other businesses that I failed that my dad was like, no, I'm not gonna like, no, that would have been a big no, especially the 20, like the blueprints, that would have been like a big no, especially like on our situation. But I told myself I needed that from my knowledge. And because of that, I was self-reliant. I'm self-reliant. I'm self-independent. I was able to make my own decisions. And I love that. I love being able to make my own decisions, do what I want, when I want, and not have to consult with anybody about that. I love it. I found a new person that I never seen. To be honest, in my entire life, I've never seen this person until I started this journey. And now I'm like, wow, I am this person. Even my parents trip out of what I'm doing. They're like, I can't believe you're doing this. You're like a whole different person. The way you speak, the way you talk, the way you present yourself. It's like a whole like they thought I was like abducted or something because I was never this person to talk the way I talked or have this mindset that I had before, talk about the things I could now. And it's a blessing. I thank you guys so much I thank God and the universe for sending you folks my way, because it definitely is life changing.
That's awesome. What was it
Thank
like
you.
for you to start getting on camera and sort of putting yourself out there, going from some of these other things you did to actually going on camera? Talk to us about some of the vulnerabilities and limiting beliefs that you had to overcome during that process.
Okay, so to be honest, I was never camera shy. I was on social media since MySpace, Zanga, back in the day, and I was, like I said, I was a social media influencer, so I was always making video, making content. I was always making comedy, or I was making horror films. I made my own little homemade movies, and that's what kind of got me out there on YouTube. And then I started doing comedy on TikTok, and that's what got me out there. But I'm so sorry, I went off a track of what your question was.
No problem. I'm trying to keep myself muted because I got a little bit of background noise there coming in. Sorry about that. Uh,
Okay.
um, well, I was just what limiting beliefs did you have to overcome and deal with during this process? I mean, was it the fact that so many people told you up until this point, friends, spouse, etc., that you couldn't do something or not to trust yourself, or like what other limiting beliefs have you overcame during this journey that that now you tell yourself something different, more empowering about yourself than you did at the beginning? I want to understand what else have you overcome mentally and emotionally through this process.
Through putting myself out there, it is it's definitely different with affiliate marketing, because like I have a script when I do my comedy. Whereas I do this, it's totally different. It's for me, it's more of a, I don't know, it's like ASMR for me. Is soothing. I like to do this. It's so much easier to do, where I can just pick up my camera and record myself making some coffee and put words on a screen and get people involved. Like, wow, I resonate with that guy. I totally used to work at a 9 to 5. I hated my job. I hated going to this place, and being able to find out that I can do all of this on my own. I have to depend on anyone, especially a boss or a 9 to 5 job, is just, I think that's the best thing ever. I never ever thought I could. To be honest, us people in Hawaii, we grew up here where we feel like we're not lucky enough to have things like this, amazing things like this. And I am showing people in my family, they didn't even know I was doing this. I just started popping up on their page, on their friends you may know, and they're like, why do you have 2 pages? And they see what I'm doing. I'm like, how long have you been doing this? I've been doing it for a year. And they're like, what? And we're only now finding out. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really like mention what I'm doing out here. I try. The thing is, we don't bother family and friends. When they see what we're doing and they want to get involved, totally, I'll be down to talk about it. But I am not the type of person to go out and add every single friend and family to my business, because that's not where I'm trying to. That's not the target audience I'm trying to attract. And knowing all of that stuff, it's mind blowing to know all of this stuff, that my mind is like a completely different entity, how I guess you would call it. I was not this person a year ago. You would ask me a question about affiliate marketing or anything about mindset rewiring, I wouldn't know anything. I would be like a deer in headlights. Now you can tell me anything. I could talk for hours. You got to shut me up sometimes, because I'm like constantly talking.
I love it. I love to listen to you. You're so enthusiastic. You're so energetic. You're so positive. You're somebody who I would want to spend time around. I do want to spend time around you. What would you recommend to somebody who's feeling skeptical, who's second guessing themselves? I mean, how would you coach yourself through? If you could go back to the beginning in some of those tougher times, what would be some of the tips and advice that you would give yourself to keep going, to get started, to overcome some of those fears and limiting beliefs that you might have? How would you coach yourself if you could go back in time and kind of talk to yourself when you were not as confident and not as energetic as you are now?
I would have went back and told myself to just invest in myself at the time I was wanting to do it, and not wait that 2 months I was waiting. And then I also did invest in a coach. I did invest in a coach. We're able to say names, right? I just want to make sure that we're okay to say his name. His name is Sean Sorantos. I saw a bunch of people invest in him, and I was like, that is totally the person I want to get behind. that helped me skyrocket my business. Like just talking to Sean on a, whenever I needed help, I could just reach out to him and just, if I'm stuck in somewhere, they've been there in that area. So they have their expertise in that area is just amazing. If I ask him something, I'm like, hey, I'm stuck in this area. He's like, this is what I was, this is where I was, this is what I did. And try and put your own spin on it. And that's what I did. And that's what helped me a lot. But if I could go back and tell myself, I would have just been like, dude, just invest in yourself. Don't wait the 2 months. Because I could have, for all I knew, I could have quit my job sooner than I did before, But to be honest, 4 months is, I think that's amazing, for me, because I was determined to leave that place. It was miserable. I loved my job. I did. But my manager, she went on maternity leave, came back a whole different vibe, and was always nitpicking at everything I did. And she never did this. So that was my drive to be like, I'm out of here. And I told everybody there, that was my last job I was ever going to work. If I ended up being homeless or jobless, I was not working another 9 to 5. And this fell into my lap. It was just, everything was working out for me last year. So I totally manifested it without even realizing I was doing it.
And what do you now know about manifestation and speaking things into existence and attracting positive, powerful things into your life that you didn't know before?
The vibration. That I didn't know about vibrations. I didn't know your vibration had to be at a certain frequency for you to be able to manifest and connect with the universe or connect with what you're trying to manifest and speak to in existence. And always, when you manifest something, make sure you feel it. For instance, if you want money, think about your bank account. Think about the money you want in your bank account. Think about it. See it. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to take that money? What are you going to do with it? You're going to invest it. You're going to spend it on something, and that's what I do with my manifestations. I also do bay leaf. Like I burn bay leaf. You write down your manifestation on a bay leaf and you burn it, picture it, and just let it go to the universe. And I was a person who never believed in manifestations. I thought it was a joke, to be honest. I laughed at when people told me they manifested their life. And I'm like, don't even come at me with that. And I never looked it up on social media, nothing. And it just started popping up on my For You page on top of TikTok. And I'm like, what is all of this manifestation? I've never looked into that. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, I totally manifested my life. I told myself I was going to quit my job this year. And I quit it in December. I told myself before I even started affiliate marketing, I told myself I was going to find something that's going to work for me, where I'm going to be able to work for myself, become my own boss, and quit my 9 to 5. And I did. I found affiliate marketing, and that changed my life. And manifestation is real, you guys. It's
Say more about the power of speaking something into existence, and what does that mean to you, and what does that look like for you?
When I speak something into existence, for instance, if I want, if this is a perfect example. I was going through hard times. I wasn't making enough money. Like I just started this, and I had to make money to be able to get by with my rent, because my rent here is expensive. And here in Hawaii, it's pretty expensive. And I always told myself at the end of the month, when I was like scared of, I didn't have enough to pay my rent or my bills. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be fine. I just changed the scared to positive and just believe that it was going to happen. And I promised to God, the universe, 2 days later, money just started appearing in my account. I had checks that was owed to me from like 3-4 years ago. That came into my mail, and it was crazy. It's just, ever since then, I've been okay. It's been a whole year now, and I've been okay. And it's, manifestation is real. I've been manifesting the entire year, like this entire year.
Yeah, I think that people really, if you don't believe in the power of speaking things into existence, then look at your life and how crappy it is, and think about how you've been talking and complaining and creating self-fulfilling prophecies with all the negative talk that you've been speaking. A lot of times we don't believe in speaking things into existence from a positive aspect, but if you look at your life and all of the things that are in it that are negative, that you don't like, and you think about how often you complain and talk about negative things and create self-fulfilling prophecies are another way to look at speaking things into existence. And it may be the language that some people are hung up on, thinking, I don't believe in the power of law of attraction or whatever. I mean, I believe in law and order. I don't believe in the law of attraction, right? But it's like the law of attraction is a very simple thing, because it's basically you attract back what you put out into the world. Like if you're putting out negative vibes, if you're complaining, if you're commiserating, if you're always complaining about your job and your boss, and I mean, you're just going to keep having a shitty job and a shitty boss, right? If you always complain about being broke, nobody's going to want to give you money because they're going to want to avoid talking about money with you. They're going to, you're not going to attract opportunity. You're not going to also see opportunity when it presents itself because you're going to be so hung up on the fact that you're so broke and that the government sucks and that the economy sucks and that inflation is so high and gas prices are so high and bread prices and milk prices and all the things they talk about on the news.
Yeah.
I mean, the news is a great example of other people speaking things into existence in your life. Because if you listen to other people telling you about all the negative things in the world, you will then also repeat those negative things in your conversations to other people. You will say, did you hear about inflation? Did you see what Joe Biden did? Did you see what Donald Trump did? Did you see what this person did, that person did? Did you see about the horrible situation? Did you see about the mass murder? All these different things, you will start repeating those. And you will become depressed. You will become angry. You will become rageful. All of those things will be and you can very easily, the same way that you can put on the marketing shades, you can put on the shit colored glasses. And when you're hearing that and that's coming into your ears and you're seeing that from the news and from the people that you hang around, you also see the rest of the world through those shit colored glasses.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Correct.
The same way that if you put on and really guard your eyes and ears, really turn off the news, really cancel your cable, really cut out your negative friends, really cut out your negative family. You mentioned not, explaining or telling friends and family what it is that you're doing. Well, why would somebody want to ever do that if they're starting something new and exciting? Well, because friends and family will poo-poo on it.
Yes.
You ever heard of pee on your parade? Well, that's exactly what some people are absolute experts at doing. Just like I've told this story every day this week. I said, when Jay-Z was a young rapper, he said to his uncle, his blood uncle, I'm going to sell 1 million records. His blood uncle said, you ain't going to sell 1 million records. Jay-Z said back to his blood uncle, no, you ain't going to sell 1 million records. Don't project that onto me, right? So we learn to cut out our friends and family. We learn not to cut them out of our lives totally, but to cut them off from feeding the most precious holes in our body, which are not the holes that you're thinking, folks. Get your mind out of the gutter. It's these two holes right here and these two holes right here. Your ear holes and your eye holes, and what go through your ear holes and your eye holes are going to determine what comes out your mouth hole, right?
Correct.
And so when we start to guard these holes, now I know some of you are laughing your ass off because I'm talking about holes here, but stay with me. Keep your minds out of the gutter now, friends. Okay, you can worry about those holes later. Okay. I'm talking about these holes. When we start to guard these holes right here, as if they are the absolute most precious place on this planet. And they are. It's not your child's ears and eyes. It's yours, because what goes in here is what's going to come out to your children. It's what's going to come out to your loved ones. It's going to come out to the people that you love if you want to influence them powerfully. Think about your audience. Don't you want to love on your audience now that you have an audience ace? Don't you want to love and feed them and give them the absolute best information?
Yes.
Well, what comes out of here is going to be based on what comes in here. So we have to guard these holes, these 4 holes, as if they are, because they are the most precious holes in your body. Okay. And they are, my friends. This is a funny way of delivering this, but I like to be funny because it's memorable, right? You can remember it. Dave was talking about holes on Wake Up Legendary today. Well, yeah, because these are the holes that we learn to guard. We guard them with our lives. We guard them with everything. We do not allow people to infect them. I mean, it's sort of like somebody coming in and, we want to protect the environment, some of us, right? You live in Hawaii. You sure as hell don't want people dumping garbage in the water so it floats up onto the beach, do you? That's a big deal out there. You're freaking surrounded by water.
Yeah.
But then we'll sit in front of, the TV or the cable news or hang out belly up to the bar and listen to everybody complain about the president, everybody as if they're victims. We'll listen to everybody complain about their husbands and wives. We'll listen to everybody complain about their jobs. When the truth is that that's infecting us. That's allowing other people to dump garbage into our heads.
Yes.
And then guess what? There's absolutely no way that after your head, you have a head full of trash from everybody else's dumping into your head, that you are going to go speak powerful opportunity and inspiration, that you're going to go and speak something that's going to make somebody want to do business with you. You are going to then be having diarrhea of the mouth, speaking that same toxicity out to the world, and people are going to want to run from you as if you have a plague.
Yes.
That, my friends, is the law of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
You attract what you put out, but we don't acknowledge enough what we put in and what we allow in before it starts coming out. You got to go to the root of the problem. You can't just hope and pray and sit there and white knuckle it and say, oh, I hope I don't put anything out into the world that brings back negative shit. Because you have to what is filling up your gas tank. You have to go back to the root of the problem and really say, who the hell is in my life right now that I need to cut out?
Yeah.
Who the hell what am I listening to? What am I watching? Whether it's music, whether it's cable news, whether it's your negative. Some of us have friends in our life. It is time to let go of. It's time to let them go.
Yeah.
Some of us have family members in our lives. It's time to let them go. You don't have to disown them. You don't have to not love them anymore, but you can do something and have something called, ready for it, the big B word, boundaries.
Yes.
Boundaries with them. So talk to us a little bit about your boundaries. How are you guarding those all important holes and not allowing, whether it be even friends, family? How have you changed the way, Ace, that you look at friends and family and making friends and letting them into your lives, or at least letting them closely into your inner circle?
I totally went ghost. I'm still going ghost. When friends want to hang out, I'm a total introvert. I like to stay home. I hate going out. I have social anxiety. I don't like being around people. So that was a big thing too. And through this, it helped me with my mindset. Like, people don't realize that affiliate marketing actually did. I didn't realize it until later that it did help me with manifestation. It teaches you how to manifestation with rewiring the mindset. And that I had to do a lot, because a lot of my family member, I love them as much as I do, but they're negative. They're finally, and I never thought about that before, that it does rub off on you. I remember from my 9 to 5, anytime a secret would come into the job and I would hear it, I'd be like, oh, like it would just be like chimosas, like we just be fully just talking about it in the office, and you rub off on that energy. When I fully quit my job and fully disassociate myself with all of that, I realized how much better I felt, how much, I guess, blocking all of that out, I don't have to worry about it. When my parents want to talk about stuff like that, I'm like, Mom, I'm good. Like, I love you guys, but I'm good. Like, we don't want to talk about that. How's the kids doing? Like, I fully try to direct the situation. I try not to feed into those negative energies. But like I said, I went ghost. I'm still trying to just block people out of my family, just block people out, because that will definitely rub off on me. And I don't like that. I don't like the feeling of or that person that I was before when that all happened and what it did to me. So yeah, I like being by myself. I like being an introvert. I like blocking people out.
And I think we learn through this process the difference between loneliness and solitude. There is nothing wrong with solitude. There is nothing wrong with learning how to be alone by yourself. There's nothing wrong with that, friends. So often we jump from one bad relationship right into another, and we don't take a break and a rest and an opportunity to just, what do I want? What do I need out of life? What do I want in a partner? What do I want my life to look like? What do I want in a business? And a lot of times you really can't get to the real root of that until you clear out some of the noise.
Yeah.
And a lot noise is often coming from other people in your life who are just endlessly talking and sort of throwing their limiting beliefs, just like Jay-Z's uncle did to him. No,
Yes.
you can't sell 1,000,000 records. Well, that happens every day in different ways. Our friends, our family members, when we share a dream with them, an idea, a goal that we have, they shit on it. They poo-poo on it. And it's not because they're bad people. It's not because they don't love you. They actually think that they're protecting you. They think that they're doing something nice for you by trying to tell you, don't do that. Right? Don't
That's
do
true.
that. You're because what they're thinking is, I am too scared to do that. I know I would fail at that because I don't have the courage and the bravery to follow through with that. So you shouldn't either, because there's no way that you're more courageous and more brave than I am, right? That's
That's
what people think. And we have to be, if you have a dream, okay, if you have a dream, if you have an important dream, you should be so, and if you have an important idea and an important goal, you should be so careful who you share that with, particularly to people who have, hold emotional influence in your life, such as a friend or a family member. Kimberly, you're being contacted on Facebook about a crypto affiliate project. Wow. Wow. No, I don't do crypto. I don't do crypto. I don't reach. Facebook's not going to reach out to you. And I'm talking to everybody here. Friends, look out for pieces of scum. These are the real scammers of the internet right now, and they are happening in abundance right now.
yeah.
These are some of the trash that we actually need to cut out. Now, these are not friends and family that we shouldn't just tell our dreams to. These are people that want to hurt you. These are people that want to take your money. These are people that want to, commit crimes, for God's sakes. So I will never reach out to you and contact you. I will never send you a DM. I want everybody to hear that. I will not send you a DM. I don't DM people. I'm not going to slide into your DMs. Never, ever, ever am I going to send you a DM. The only email that I will ever contact anybody from is dave@legendarymarketer.com. If it does not say, not legendary marketers, not legendary Dave marketer, because people buy domain names at dave@legendarymarketer.com. And my friends, you need to be very careful. You need to be very careful about the internet and what you are responding to and what you're wasting your time doing. If somebody's reaching out to you cold, that's like a cold call. That's like a telemarketing. That's the new age 2023 telemarketing cold call. Okay. Nobody who is successful is going to DM you out of the blue. And I'm just saying this so everybody can remember it. I know I'm being a little bit confrontational about this, but I want to try to save some of you tens of thousands of dollars. The people out here who are wasting time and wasting your time with this crap, it's a horrible thing. They're really good at it. They're really slick, but ignore them immediately. Ace, how do you deal with when you're putting out content and you're putting out videos? How do you deal with just simply negative comments and people who are just mean on the internet? How did it affect you? And you can even go back to the very beginning when you were creating content as an influencer. But how do you now deal with that? And what advice do you have for people who may be, affected and sort of get their feelings hurt and almost a little bit shocked by some of the shit that some people say out there?
I'm gonna be honest. Back in the day, I was one of those hardcore people who, if somebody went off and put like a really bad comment, I would go to the extra extent to create another account to bash them through Messenger. It was bad. I was that type of person, and eventually I got over it. Because I was a person who would get angry at any little thing. I had the shortest fuse, and starting this business, it taught me a lot of discipline with all of that. And when I see comments like that, I just have a good laugh. I love laughing. It's the best medicine for anyone. If you're having a bad day, look at the comment in another perspective. Just laugh at it. And if it bothers you to the point where like you won't get over it. I would always suggest either do a video response to it in a positive way, or just be like, bless you, have a good day, just move on with your day, or block them and just move on with your day. I don't even waste my time doing that anymore. I just laugh at the comments and move on with my day.
Yeah, and I was interviewing Amy and Rodney Hires yesterday, two absolute legends,
Yeah.
um, and they said, a lot of times when you click through and you see what's actually on the other side of these people's profiles who are leaving these negative comments, I mean, it's people who have no profile picture. It's people who have no life. It's people who have never posted a video themselves. It's people who a lot of times, even if you do respond, they never respond back. So just remember that when some of you who are new are, you get a negative comment for somebody. The people, as Amy Heyer said yesterday, the people who do the least have the most to say. Let me say that again. The people who do the least. Now, this probably is true for all of life, right, Ace? The people who do the least have the most to say.
That's true.
Isn't that true?
That is so true.
Yeah, the peanut gallery, as we call them, the critics, right? I gave this example yesterday on Wake Up Legendary about somehow the movie industry and has the critics who write about things, right? It's like, well, that's great that you are writing or commenting on something, because you didn't have the guts to get in front of the camera and actually do the movie yourself, or act, or put yourself out there, or make yourself look goofy, or take the risk of looking goofy and feeling silly and all of that by doing the performance yourself. I also said yesterday that performing, because Rodney Hires talked about kind of performing and kind of developing a love for performing on camera and stuff like that, and sort of getting excited and energetic. I said, and I actually gave the example of like dancers in Hawaii, hula dancer. What are they called? Hula. That's like a form of love. Performing and entertaining people in most cultures is a form of love.
Yeah.
It's a form of entertaining people. It's a form of showing them your appreciation. How could somebody who doesn't have any experience performing, being in front of the camera, how could they borrow some of your experience of being in front of a camera and performing and being goofy and doing skits, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? How can they borrow some of your experience today to become more comfortable in front of the camera as well? How did you get comfortable in your skin in front of the camera? And how do you view performance? Do you view it as a form of entertainment, which is a form of love? I mean, clearly you have to have a positive way in which you're looking at this to be so carefree about doing it.
Yes. For me, I don't know. It's I don't even know how to answer that, Dave, to be honest.
How did you, I mean, were you always from the very first time that you got on camera just immediately comfortable, or was it that you did it enough times over time that you got more comfortable? I mean, I'm just trying to sort of help some of the people who are really struggling with getting on camera feel more comfortable doing so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've had a lot of friends like that. To be honest, I've been on the camera since I was second grade. I was in drama since I was in second grade. So I've always been on camera, never been a shy person on camera. It's weird. When it comes to camera, I'm not shy at all. I'm like a whole different person on camera. When you meet me in person, I'm like the shyest little thing. I'm like in the corner, like the dog.
Okay.
Different. But to be honest, I just started getting out there and just started challenging myself, because to be honest, I enjoy seeing my goofy side. At first, I was shy to show that on top of social media, but when I start doing that, that's when people relate to you even more. They're like, oh, look at this guy. He's just a normal guy being goofy. And like, I totally can relate to that guy. I totally am a goofy side, like things that you put out there, people will definitely resonate with what you are talking about. Or if your personality, people will connect with you because of your personality. If you're bubbly, they're like, oh, I love that guy's energy. I love it. I just want to connect with him. I want to watch everything he does. I want to buy everything he sells, like you just got to connect with them. And just, there is ways that you can put videos out there where you don't have to show your face, but I'm gonna be honest, to be more authentic, I think it's best to show your face, because I mean that's when people fully trust you. I tried when I first started doing affiliate marketing, I did the whole words on the screen with just videos in the back, but never my face. And I noticed people were like scam, scam, scam on everything. Once I started showing my face again, that's when they were like, they felt genuine. They could see someone, they could connect with someone, you know, and I feel just that's the best way, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, man. I mean, I think it's better to just get pushed through the uncomfortability. If any of
Yes.
you are struggling being on camera, push through the uncomfortability of doing it. And as you said, embrace the goofy side. Embrace your goofy side.
I love
I
it.
mean, you only have one life to live. You know what I mean? Like, why pass up this opportunity right now to just live your best life and get comfortable in your skin and just connect with people through these amazing tools that we have, like the internet, like the phone, like social media, and actually build a business from it. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, it's such a beautiful thing to be able to use your head, your heart, your mouth to be, your mouth to make money with. Boy, I'm really, you could, if you only cut up sound bites of today's show, you could really think that we were doing like some weird show here. But it's just, I mean, I just can remember when I was doing construction, I just thought, man, I'd love one day to be able to make money with my head, my heart, without using my hands.
Yes.
I'd love to
Yes.
be able, without doing manual labor, like without busting my ass. I wanted to make money with my mouth, not my hands. Jeez, Dave. It just never stops. It just never stops. I mean, it's just, what the hell? Let's have a little fun for Christmas sakes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, geez,
Yeah.
Louise, we're the 30th fastest growing education company privately held in America this year.
Awesome.
Inc. 5,000 people. And this is where we're at in 20. Dave is speaking the whole truth today. You son of a gun, Rodney. You dirty dog. You dirty dog. Oh, you dog. That's the man right there. I am speaking the whole truth today. Love you, brother. Man, what advice would you give yourself, Ace, back when you got started that maybe you didn't know or you didn't hear or you didn't have the ability to tell yourself that you now know, that if you could sit down next to yourself back when you first got started, what would you say?
Invest in yourself. Don't ever think second on investing in yourself. Don't even give it a second guess. Just do it, because that's what will help you and benefit you in the long run. That's what helped me a lot in the long run, was investing in my knowledge and myself. To be honest, like I said, I did the free thing. It wasn't getting me anywhere. After I invested in myself, things just started connecting. The dots just started connecting.
If it's free, it's not for me. That's
Nope.
the thing that we should start saying to
Yeah.
ourselves. If it's free, it's not for me, because you get what you pay for. It's like, if you want shitty products, if you want crappy knowledge, then be a freebie seeker. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yep.
if you want to save money but have a crappy experience, then hold on to that last couple of bucks in your wallet or on your credit card like it's just like there's no more money in the world. And you can save a lot of money and you'll have a crappy experience. The quality of your life, and I think about it, I was talking about it, I think, yesterday with somebody. I go to Disney because I live in Florida here. I take my daughter, for example. We do daddy daughter weekends 2 or 3 times a year at minimum, required daddy daughter weekends, a minimum of 2 to 3 times a year. Okay. More whenever possible. And I think about the poor bastards who are sitting in that long ass line who didn't buy the fast pass, as I just zoom right by them,
Yeah.
because I hate lines. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, I hate waiting in lines, and there's some dad who wanted to save a couple of $100 or whatever and not part with that money, but instead ride half the rides or less than half the rides that me and my daughter are riding, just simply because I just was like, no brainer. Of course, I'm going to pay for that experience of
Yes.
being able to zoom through the lines and not wait. And what's the solution to how I view about having better experiences in life? It's not saving money, friends. It's
No,
not coupon cutting. It's
no.
making more money.
Mhm.
That's the way that I upgrade and improve the quality of my life. It's not by saving money. It's not by cutting coupons. It's not by being a bargain shopper and buying all of the broken shit and outdated stuff and things that no longer work or nobody wants because it's, 5 seasons ago or whatever. It's by making more money.
Exactly.
And when you make more money, it's because you can only go, say you're at 100, you can only go 100 points down to zero. You can only go down so far, but you can go up unlimited.
Yep.
You can make, and that is, I mean, if you think about, you mentioned Camilla, man, think about the money she's made. I mean, and she's a former nanny, for God's
Yeah.
sakes.
Yep.
She's a former nanny. Who this is not English is not her first language.
No,
I
it's
don't even know
not.
if it's her second language. It's damn sure not her first though.
Oh yeah.
She's made up well over $1 million
Yep,
just
she's
with
a
one, just here. Not left. So, and that's not a guarantee of income. Making money online is hard. Most people make no money at all. All the things, okay, all the disclaimers and disclosures. But I tell you what, if we stop trying to cut corners, pinch pennies, and be bargain shoppers, the worst thing that we want to do is be a bargain shopper on ourselves. Be a
yes.
bargain shopper on your purse. Be a bargain shopper on your clothes. Be a bargain shopper on your shoes. Be a
Yep.
bargain shopper on your car. Be a bargain shopper on all that, but don't be a bargain shopper on your brain. Don't be a bargain shopper on your food. The shit that goes in your body, don't be a bargain shopper on that stuff. Be a bargain shopper on anything else in life. Be a bargain shopper on the gas that you put in your car. Be a bargain shopper on anything else. But when it comes to what you put inside your body, don't be a bargain shopper on that. You guys see me, a lot of people probably think I'm drinking Heineken beer here. I've been sober for 15 years, friends. I don't drink a drop of alcohol. I ain't drank a drop of alcohol in a long ass time, nor do I do drugs. This is Mountain Valley spring water, and why do I drink it? It's sparkling too, by the way, because it's freaking the best water that I could buy. And I drink, it allows me to drink multiple gallons usually per day of water, right?
Nice.
And yes, I drink, I drink water from the tap as well to get some of the, the different things. I don't only drink sparkling. Some people think that I'm going to get cavities and stuff. I've never had a cavity in my life. Never had a cavity in my life, friends. Don't worry about me. Worry about you,
Yep.
right? Worry about you. Worry about what you're putting in your body. I'm taken care of. This is my breakfast every morning. It's an RX bar. You want to know what the ingredients on this RX bar is? 3 egg whites, 6 almonds, 4 cashews, 2 dates, no BS. That's the final ingredient, no BS, right? Why?
Nice.
And I drink and I eat the same thing every day. Why? Why? Because it's simple, it's healthy, and I don't cut corners on what I put inside of my brain or my body. And that's how we elevate our lives. That's how we get the things that we want in life. That's how we attract the things that we want in life. Is all of the things that we've talked about on this wonderful show this morning. And Ace, I want to thank you for your beautiful time. It's 5 a.m. in Hawaii. It's 5 a.m. You either stayed up late or got up early.
I got up early.
You're a beautiful human being for doing that. You're a wonderful, inspirational, energetic, confident, wonderful, beautiful man. And I am so thrilled and honored to have spent an hour of my time today with you, my brother. Stay legendary and come back and see me. Keep me posted on your journey, will you please?
Will do. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a good day.
All right, my friends.
All right.
Aloha, aloha, aloha.
Aloha.
Can I say that for goodbyes as well?
Yeah, so it means aloha and goodbye. I mean, what means hello and goodbye? Sorry.
Aloha, aloha, my brother. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, my friends, you can go and follow Ace at Hustle with Ace over on TikTok and Instagram. And Ace is spelled A YCE. Don't forget the Y in there. Hustle with AYCE, ACE. Hustle with ACE. Very inspiring. Now I'm fired up. Obviously, you could tell that I was fired up through. I was ranting and raving, and I get like that when I get inspired, when I get fired up, when I see something. It's just one of those days, friends. It's just one of those days. I mean, I'm like this, almost every day, but sometimes I put a little extra, like Salt Bay. I put a little extra sprinkle of ranting and raving on there, especially when we talk about some of these very important topics about what we speak matters, how we talk about ourselves, what we attract into our lives through the things that we're speaking into existence. I mean, these are the dynamics, not the mechanics of marketing and entrepreneurship. And so often we're so focused on the mechanics. How do I set this up? Where do I click? It's like, don't forget the dynamics, which are, what am I feeding my brain? What am I putting in there? What am I then, how is that then processing into what's coming out of my mouth, what's coming out of my, from my energy, right? All the whole talk today got a lot of us rolling around here and made for an interesting episode. But there were some powerful lessons embedded all in the last hour. So give it a re-listen if you didn't catch the entire episode. Go give Ace a follow on TikTok and Instagram at Hustle with Ace. Don't forget the Y, AYCE, Hustle with Ace. If you want to get a text message reminder every time we go live with a new guest here on Wake Up Legendary, you can text. Here's my radio voice. I'm DJ Dave. Text WUL to 813-296-8553. Text WUL to 813-296-8553. On Monday, we'll be back again with another guest. I believe today was 805, 6, 7, something like that. Also, we were just named one of America's fastest growing privately held companies by Inc. magazine. They published their Inc. 5000. We were the, get this, is this the right way? Am I 30th fastest privately held education company in America? That's a 5-hatter. Go and find every freaking hat in your house and throw it for that one. There's a blog post. We're going to be posting more videos on YouTube about that for people to share and kind of get around. But just let that sort of sink in and marinate in your head, where this e-learning industry and these core 4 business models that we teach are really going. They're going to the moon. We're already proving it. Why? Because we eat our own cooking. We're not teaching you how to do Amazon or drop shipping or eBaying or garage sailing or whatever and making all of our money through selling courses, coaching, events, and doing affiliate marketing. We're actually eating our own cooking. We are the example of what we teach, and we are the example of creating valuable content, doing marketing the exact way that we teach. And that is evidenced by the fact that every single day at 10 a.m., we're showing up here doing an interview that's completely unscripted, totally transparent. Ace was probably like, holy shit, as I logged on right at 10 a.m. this morning and said, let's go, right? No warm up, no nothing, just let's go. Because, hey, baby, we were born for this. Get out of here. Have a great Friday. Stay legendary, my friends. Peace.